Just the other day, it was yesterday, this is a short story, but it's very funny. I got my historic plate. I wanted to make a carbon backer plate. I did these on the previous video. They've dried overnight. Pretty solid. You can use them for ninja things or whatever. Anyway, the next step on this, and I thought this is a small trick, but one a lot of people might have a problem figuring out. I want to impose this shape on here, and I want to have a 1/4 inch border. Well, you can't really write on this with a pen, but here's one of the ways you can do it that's relatively simple. And it's certainly not nuclear science or anything, but what I found is some of the people that enjoy the videos and watch them, and I'm not sure how many subscribers we have. I think it's about 140 right now. Doesn't really matter, we're not getting paid either way. But one of the things, I get these emails from people that would like to know more about certain things. And this is one that I think will be a useful piece of information. Now you can see what I've done is I've just taped it there. It sounds like this would be pretty simple. I'm not sure why. A lot of people, well, I guess everybody has a different background. If you're like a cook or something, maybe some of this stuff wouldn't be as obvious as it is. I see right now this has to go over here a little bit, just a little bit. Now I can look from the back and see I'm not missing it. I don't want to be off the carbon. Okay. And how about from that dimension? And again, I have to make 2 of them, but this is a way I found that it works pretty good. I can just take good old 1/4 inch tape, and because it's a light color, and again, that thing we always talk about, this is how we use up the old tape. Why I never throw any tape away. I have these 20 rolls of 5-year-old tape. If something like this, it's good to just use it up. I only want about a 1/4 inch showing. I don't want more than that. And again, our historic plate, we have a great motivation here. Our historic plate is basically for life. We're never going to get another plate. We're never going to have to pay to register a bike. We have 4 of them registered historic now. So what it means is my registration costs for the year are only for the bikes that are not historic. And that amount of money I can put toward more Hot Wheels for the baby. And this is, I wanted to, if anybody doesn't know, Glenn was over here this morning and we were playing Hot Wheels with the baby for a while. He had some personal stuff to do. But while the baby's napping, I thought I'd show this. Kind of a nice little, I'm not sure what. Anyway, if you look at how we laid that out. Now what I'm going to do, I'll move the camera. I'll take the plate off. Save that for the other piece, which we're going to do off camera. We'll do 2 of these, of course. But let me move the camera here for a second. Yeah, I know. If I was Steven Spielberg, I wouldn't have this problem. Now, a couple of tricks that you can really use. This is wood on one side. It's West resin and carbon fiber on the other side. A small tooth blade is the best choice. And what you can see, it cuts kind of nice, but the edge is rough. It'll have to be sanded, of course. And when you're doing this, I'm not using gloves right now because it's hard to put tape on with gloves, but these are all little razor blades. You sure don't want to cut yourself up. And I had several comments about yesterday's video that apparently a lot of people want to make carbon fiber parts like this. basically, this is now our plate mount. Oh, I plate on the other thing. Now what I also want to do, I want to radius the edges. I want to true these up. I got to use another saw for that. We got to walk out into the other part of the shop here. But it's so much fun doing this work. And of course you always get just, this is interesting too. Everything's interesting. If you already know how to do this, I'm sure you've already deleted this file, so it's okay. I got to move some of my stuff here. Why don't you do this before you start the video, Wendy? Well, because I'm not that smart, Uncle Bill. Okay, we're passing on information. We're not, it's not high-tech stuff here. Remember that thing I always talk about, no camera cuts. The other thing I can do is just get my radius. Now the final step on this is going to be to wet sand this all down flat. For that we go back to the other room. Why don't you just use camera cuts? Well, because then nobody believes what you say. I don't even believe it. Alright, so we're back to where this is going to happen. Might get a little boring, but it's okay. Because once, the thing with learning the way some people do things, you only have to see it once. My late friend John DeTavio used to tell me, and I worked with him in a carpet business, that he'd always watch some guy work and he'd steal a trade with his eyes. And he's right. Now we have a piece of really rough paper here. We take a new piece. Again, because we're just doing this demo while the baby's taking a nap. I didn't have all day to set this up like I normally do, but I did want to share this. I didn't want to just come back to this, and it was a miracle it was done. This will take just enough of the material off. And then we're going to put a clear finish on it. Of course, this isn't flat yet. And you're only going to see the edge of it, so I really don't care even about the middle. Right now, I just want the edges to be nice. The middle of this really won't matter, so I don't want to spend time doing things you're not going to see. You'd rather spend the time on the things you do see. And of course, this is the main thing, is this edge right here. And we're going to use those gold bolts that we've been using on everything. Boy, do they look nice on a black motorcycle. I've got them on Rob's motorcycle too. They really look slick. And even though this is going to be painted flat black, I want it to be smooth anyway. Now at some point in time, well, we got one little spot up here. Again, this is not something I would lose my whole night's sleep over, but Certainly like to get it as nice as possible. Can't paint. We have the baby here today. And like I said, he's napping, so that's not happening. We really started out the day thinking we were going to work on Glenn's motorcycle, but the way it played out with his personal stuff, baby's still sick, and it is freezing out there, so I'm kind of glad to be inside. So once this is done, I take my plate. Now once this is clear coated, here's another trick, and this is a really good trick. When we drill the holes, a lot of people like to put tape under here, mark the 4 holes, drill the 4 holes, then go back and you notice this one doesn't line up, or when you're done, everything's crooked. Well, in machine shop work, when you have to do something like this, there's a little trick I've used over and over. You drill one hole, put the bolt in, then drill the next hole, put that bolt in. And by doing that, you stack the deck in your favor that you're not going to have a monumental problem somewhere down the road. But I think once this is clear coated, once we do the final sanding on it, that'd be a nice little part, nice little addition to our historic bike. And that's the key to everything. They ought to put free down here instead of historic. And I guess any day now, Luciano's going to be getting his historic plates for the H1.